Let's bring you a check on the markets. Not even 30 minutes into the session, but wanted to zero in on some specific stuff here. First of all, I'm looking at the regional banks here. We've got a little more green than red on the screen in today's session. But what's interesting to me is that we continue to see a rebound in some of these really beat up names. Here's the weekly chart for PacWest Bancorp, now up by about 35%. I wanted to take it back and look at that 2-month view about since we got the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, right? So here's the 2-month chart, still down about 34%. But coming up off of the bottom here is what we have seen more recently. And I want to find Western Alliance and we'll take a look at a similar chart there. There's the 2-month chart for Western Alliance. It's a little bit more bumpy here, not down nearly as much since the initiation of the banking crisis. It looks like down about 12.5%, but still seeing that bounce in particular over the past week in which it has gained by 28%. Remember, it talked about getting a new influx of deposits earlier in the week. So that helping matters. Also, of course, this week marked those hearings that we saw on Capitol Hill on the part of regulators and some of these bank CEOs that have run into trouble. So it's been an interesting one in that sense. And then looking at banks more broadly here, the big banks, as we saw some of the bank execs also go to Washington to talk about the debt ceiling. Looking in today's session, and I am looking for Morgan Stanley, which is right down here on the news, that the company says James Gorman, its longtime CEO, is going to be stepping down within the next year. They are talking about who's going to be the successor. Today, it's down about 0.5%. 5 days, it is up about 2%, and year to date hasn't done much of anything, Brad.
All right, big news there out of the banking sector this morning.